Hi guys, Rushabh this side. I hope you all are doing well. Today I'll talk about Watson Discovery, which is a product of IBM, and it is also a product which is available within IBM's Cloud Pak for Data. So basically, Watson Discovery is an AI powered platform, and it's an intelligent search and text analytics platform that can eliminate any sort of data silos and retrieve informations which is buried inside the enterprise data. It uses innovative NLP techniques to uncover any sort of meaningful business insights from document, web pages, all the way to even big data informations. Watson Discovery makes it possible basically to rapidly build cognitive cloud-based exploration applications that can unlock actionable insights hidden within your unstructured data. This will include your own proprietary informations or data as well as public and third-party data. Yeah, so now in this diagram above, you can see the three main phases of data flow within Watson Discovery. That is ingest, enrich, and then query. Or you can also say that the query part can be your analyze and search as well. So basically with Watson Discovery, it only takes a few steps to prepare your unstructured data and then create a query that pinpoints the information you need and integrate those insights into your new applications or existing solutions as well. Now you must be thinking, how does Watson Discovery do it? So it does this by using data analysis combined with cognitive intuitions to take your unstructured data and then enrich it so you can discover the informations that you need. In the next slide, I'll describe the three processes a bit more. So in this data flow, uh, which is associated to Watson Discovery, basically it is both simple and easy to apply. This diagram displays the three phases, that is acquire, enrich, and the analyze and search part. So the informations, basically that from where the text is derived or the information is derived can be of any type or a format. It can be a tweet, a blog, PDF. It can be Excel, any sort of a Word file, or even a JPG image, which is present in a PDF format. Okay. So at first, in the acquire phase, what happens is that the data is ingested from one or more data sources, and then it is stripped of any sort of an unnecessary content. This content, what I mean by unnecessary content is any sort of graphics or formatting which is applied on the text. It removes it and discards that, and then it is passed to the enrich stage. So moving on in the enrich phase, the cleansed data basically that is typically a mix of structured and unstructured text is processed using the NLP techniques, okay, and the MLP techniques as well to provide meaning and context to the raw text, okay. And this enriched data is stored in the form of collection. So what do I mean by collection now? A collection basically can be a set of documents that you upload or crawl from where it resides on a connected data source. Creating a collection is a good way basically to group documents that you want to enrich in a similar way. For example, let's say you might want to create a collection of documents that have a similar visual structure so that you can use the collection to define custom fields. And this thing basically can be done using a feature within IBM's Watson Discovery, which is SDU, or which is elaborated as Smart Document Understanding Tool. And then moving on to the next phase, that's analyze and search phase, which uses the enriched data from one or more collection to basically conduct a discovery and exploration, or to enable expert assistance through your search-based application, kind of formats as well. Now I'll take you through a couple of use cases. I have prepared two use cases just to demonstrate the capabilities of Watson Discovery. So let me take you to the next part. Just a minute. Yeah. So in the use case one, uh, I have defined a problem statement and I have, found a couple of data sheets that I'll be using today to represent the Watson Discovery's capabilities. So the problem statements is that a Wi-Fi thermostat company known as, let's say, Sonic Thermal, okay, it's like a imaginary company, okay, that wants to create a solution which can analyze their product documentations. That is basically a user manual for their product, and they want to make sure that they can extract optimum answers for the customer queries from within the documentations. So the solution that I'll be showing basically today is to perform the above task. Use basically which might require the knowledge workers. What I mean by knowledge workers over here is the data scientist, the data analyst, the business analyst, or the data engineers, right? who basically might need to manually work on this documentations by extracting the text or the tokens from the documentations, and then uh, like applying the NLP algorithms on top of it to extract further informations and so on and so forth. So all these things and hassle can be removed by using Watson Discovery. Now I'll show you exactly how it can do this. So I'll show you this entire process in 3 steps. First, acquiring the documents. Now these documents can be reviewed from any format or any place as well, from any sort of an SAP platform all the way to from a web crawling sort of a way, as well as you can also upload the documentations if you have it on your peripheral systems like your desktops or laptops. Okay. And then on the second part, we'll be doing and we'll be enriching these documents using smart document understanding or the SDO capability within Discovery. And lastly, we'll search the correct responses. We'll see if, let's say, if I put a query forth on the Discovery platform in a conversational sort of a manner, then whether it's able to pinpoint that particular answers or not. So I'll show you exactly how you can train the model and basically how you can get the relevant answers or responses. Just give me a minute. I'll show you my screen. Okay. So yeah. Here is this Watson Discovery platform. Okay, I hope you're able to see the screen. Uh, Basically, this is how the UI looks or it appears. I'll create a new project, okay, and I'll name it, let's say, Sonic Info. I'll make the project type. See, there are different options over here: intelligent document processing, document retrieval, conversational search, content mining, custom, so on and so forth. You can do a lot of things. But today I'll show you two different use cases. First, I'll show you something about conversational search. Let me click this one and then I'll click on next. Okay, I think I'm facing some errors. Let me see if it is made or not. So, okay, never mind. I'll upload the datas. So I have a documentation which is available with me. So I'll upload it. See, all these different formats are supported: PDFs, HTML, JSON file, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, you name it, everything is supported. Plus, you can also connect to any other external data source. There are other additional settings also that I'll show you in the next use case. I'll click on finish. It might take some time to upload this data. So let me see if it is happening or not. Let us wait for some seconds. I think the data will be updated soon. If not, then let me, yeah, starting to process your documents. Nice. So basically, yeah, the updates are underway. Results might take some time. So yeah, we'll wait. So yeah, we'll wait over here for some time until the data is ready. By the time the data is getting ready, I'll show you certain improvement tools which is provided within Discovery itself. So you can search results using this part. Then there are extract meaning as an option where you can do entity extraction, keyword based extraction. Then you can also analyze the sentiment of a document, whether it's what sort of sentiment is getting defined over there. whether it is positive, negative sentiment or anything. So you can see that the document is uploaded now. I'll show you in the manage collection part. The document that I had uploaded right now is ready for use. I can preview the data as well. Uh, yeah, this gives you a in-depth idea on what document that I have uploaded. It's like a manual for a product that is Ecobee 3. So I found it randomly on the net and I've uploaded it. So on top of this, we can do a couple of improvements and customizations. First, I'll show you, I'll click on define structures, then new fields. So there are different options that you can select. How would you like to, like the SDU to convert your unstructured documents? So basically there are three options. There is text extraction only, that will omit any sort of images, hyperlinks or any sort of things like that. Then there are two other options, that is user trained models and pre-trained models. So for this particular use case, I'll do user trained model, where the conversion will extract text and identify custom structures using your feedback to train models based on repeated visual patterns within your documents. So let's select this one. I click on submit and then apply change and process. So basically what happens now is that it will upload the document. Okay. And now I'll be able to train the SDO, or the smart document understanding, on a tool on how to perceive this particular documentation. So there are different options over here. You can label the fields. For example, the user guide Ecobee 3 for me is like the title. Okay. So I'll define it as title. This part that is there, which is like a random text, so I'll keep it text, and there are no headers over here. There is no footer. I think there is a footer. Yeah, you can magnify this also. uh I will add the footer part over here. Okay, and then I can do submit page. Like this, you can move on with the other documentations. What I have done is I have already kept it up and running for me. I have created a project previously, so I'll not take a lot of your time. Let me just represent that part. uh Yeah, here it is in manage collections. Uh, the part improve, define structure, new fields. So basically, after you have like created that, after basically you have trained the model or the trained the documentations to extract, basically to uh signify this different fields, like in this manner. For example, this is the title, this is the text. In the next page also, I trained the model to identify the text as per my requirements. So initially you have to do it manually. You can see over here that I have defined it like this one is your subtitle. The color defines the title type that I've chosen from here. And then there's a text part as well. So like this, I have done this for the next 13 pages. And miraculously, after the 13th page, let's say for the 17th page, if I go, it's able to extract the informations or define the text as per my need or as per my comfort now. See the scarring for your thermostat. This part is a subtitle, whereas the rest is the text. So any part which is like a subtitle that I think I have defined it. I have trained the model to understand it pretty well. Now what I can do is that I'll show you exactly how it's able to fetch the information. So let's say I write, how can I get the local weather info? How can I get the local weather info? So let's say if I ask this question, then what this particular Watson Discovery will do is that it is showing you a conversational sort of an UI interface. Basically, it will go and fetch this particular, like the, if I give a particular query, then it will try to fetch the answer from the documentation that is already uploaded there. Okay. Now, yes, this is a manual part, so you can, the accuracy can be better defined and it can be improved as and when we move forward. So there is also a different option which is also mentioned over here, that is improve relevance. I'll show you this part, which includes different options like synonyms, stop words, data management, relevance training. So let's say if I go to relevance training over here, relevancy training, so it can rate the answers. Okay, let's say I write how do I change the comfort settings? So I had asked this question previously. Let's say I ask this one, how do I change the temperature? I want to rate the results that I had asked previously. So it gives me different answers or responses. Now, as per this response that I can see on the screen, I can rate it as relevant or non-relevant. Let's say I push this as relevant, then this part as relevant, this one as non-relevant, and let's say this one as non-relevant as well. Okay. So basically, I have defined this different queries. I can go back and you can see that over here there were four results that were shown to me before, out of which I had defined two as relevant and two as non-relevant. So now this way you can train the different questions or the queries that you ask and the responses as well. So the more you you know provide the relevancy training, the better the model is able to predict the outcome, and the better or the more improved your responses come. So this is one of the use cases that I wanted to show. And secondly, there's another use case. Just give me a minute. uh, I'll share this the PPT part once again. So basically, let's move on to the use case two. So basically, in this use case, we'll talk about uh, a financial firm. Okay, so nowadays a lot of large organizations are often overwhelmed by a lot amount of contractual agreements or documentations they have to deal with. And these contracts can come from procurement, HR, finance, and all containing essential sort of an information, right? Everything is business significant, right? And very important to the firm. So understanding this data and most importantly, being able to find relevant answers and insights out of this document becomes an essential part of the task, right? Uh, so I mean, I'll say that most of the organizations have many kinds of agreements nowadays and that are not already neatly categorized. So basically in this use case is more about classifying the whole document and labeling it based on the textual context which is present inside. And basically this will enable us to search in specific type of documentations across a whole repository, which can contain different types of documents. And basically I'll be demonstrating today one such instance in the financial domain. Over here, I have named the firm as Star Financial. So they have multiple agreements and overview documents which are present in the form of PDFs, yet the information or the data within are present in the image format, which is present in the PDF format as well. So the PDF consists of images, so you cannot extract any sort of data very easily from an image, right? So I'll show exactly how you can do that. And at the same time, we'll try to categorize this PDFs into two distinct types, that is service level agreement and manufacturer overview document. So again, for this particular use case, we'll use a solution that is IBM Discovery software to read the data from PDFs using OCR, which is optical character recognition. It's again a feature which is inbuilt within Watson Discovery. And then we will use the pre-trained SDO, that is your smart document understanding feature, to extract information by understanding the data. And then its various components like the text, the tables, the images, etc. To achieve this following steps, we'll take the next few steps that I've mentioned over here. First, we'll acquire the informations from uh, the the uh, the sources that can be there. It can be web crawl sort of a source. It can be a tweet. It can be a blog. In our case, it will be a document that I've already kept in my laptop. Apart from this, we'll enrich those data, that is the PDFs, using smart document understanding and recognize the visual structures and layouts of data, including the tables, very easily. And lastly, I'll show you the text extractor feature as well. Okay. I'll get back to uh, the model again. Let's go to my projects. So over here, I have already uploaded the documents. I'll go to lab part 2. So over here, I had already defined couple of documents. Two to be exact. There's something called as labor contracts and a second part which is called as agreement contracts. So let me show exactly what I mean by that. I'll create another collection for you for this instance, and then I'll show you how easy it is to upload files and uh, get it done. So let's say I have all these different documents. If you want to upload all of them together and apply the text analysis on all of them, then you can do it together as well. So I'll upload all these documents together, and you can see that the upload is complete. Okay. And then another very important thing, as it is a image based PDF, so I'll do one thing. I'll apply the optical character recognition feature. Once I click on, it does it, starting to process your documents. And then click on finish. Once I click on finish, it says the updates are underway. So by the time the updates are underway, I'll show you a couple of interesting things. Once it is uploaded, this is how it appears that the labor contracts, there are 5 documents within. You can preview the data very easily. See, you can preview the informations pretty well. And then it extracts multiple entities on its own without, any sort of manual intervention. Uh, Getting back to this part. So the 5 documents that I showed are processing and it's ready, I think. Yeah. If I click on manage data, uh, yeah. So identify the fields over here. Instead of using the user trained model like before, I'll do by selecting the pre-trained model option. So basically, in this option, the conversion will basically extract text and identify tables, list sections using modules that are already been trained. Okay, so there are already NLP algorithms which are trained upon this and sort of instance, and we'll use that instance very easily for our use case. So I click on pre-trained model. It's very easy to do this. Click on submit and then click on apply changes and reprocess. Once it does this, see it shows that the pre-trained model is enabled. So basically it will be able to fetch smartly all the inputs that I want. So you can see that you can click on and you can enable or disable any of these fields. So basically, if I enable all these fields, it will be able to extract text, any sort of a question answer sort of a query, which is there in the documentation, the author name, the header, the footer part, the images which are presented within the documentations, any sort of questions which are there, subtitles, tables, table of content title. So all these different parts can be enabled or disabled as per your need. Click on enrichments. You can select the different fields like the agreement contract v1.1.0. So there are different contracts that I've already kept within the documentation part, which is already uploaded. The 5 documents that I had uploaded, it consists of couple of agreements which is shown over here. And there are different fields which you can select as per your need as well. Okay. For example, in entity V2, there is already a field which is selected, this text. So any sort of text data will be captured very easily. Next, let's say after it is uploaded, let me go to this part, lab part 2, and let's say if I write Bank of America, it's a documentation which includes uh, information regarding Bank of America. So if I click this, the interesting thing will appear. See, what this particular Watson Discovery tool does is that instead of just giving you responses, just like the conversational response that I had shown before, in the discovery part, in the data discovery part, what happens is it will give you effective answers. It will give you responses plus the documentation link or the document from where it is fetching that particular response. It will also fetch any sort of tables which is present within the, uh, you know, within the tool. Okay. Basically, within any sort of documentation, if there are any tables, it will fetch that sort of responses as well. So it makes everything much more engaging, right? Now, let's say if you want to make it more responsive, for example, right? Then I had done something that was define structure, and I clicked on new field. Then I had selected, let's say, labor contracts. Okay, it's a pre-trained model. Let me go to okay. I think yeah, on the facets part, what you can do, you can also create your own responses there. Let me click on Bank of America. You'll be able to understand better. I have already created certain facets. Basically, what do I mean by facets? So, facets can help you to filter documents so that you can perform deep analysis very fast. Whether you're trying to find any sort of, let's say, proverbial needle in the haystack or to discover the unexpected trends, you can do everything very easily. Uh, so basically, facets are mostly used during content mining sort of a project, and facets can extract from your collections based on parts of speech information that is captured by the part of speech enrichment, which is already enabled within this tool by default. And you can view the facets that are derived from metadata in your documents also very easily. So one of this facet, uh, you know, uh, functionality is what I'm trying to represent over here. So I have created couple of facets. Let me show you. I'll edit the query and I'll show you. So what I have done is that there are different fields that you can select from. I had selected a field where I could extract the tables columnar informations very easily. Okay, and the sort of filtering option that I had provided there was multi-choice checkbox. Okay, you can select single choice radio button as well. So I had selected it for some other use cases, but as you can see, the table column name is there, and there are 10 different fields which are shown over here. So it extracts all these things on its own from the tables. Similarly, there are other things also which is already defined. For example, organizational and the numbers. It took this fields on its own, okay? But this one is what I had created. Similarly, now what you can do is that you can, let's say I wanted to view the passage of this document. Where is it taking this information from, or the table document? Let's say I click on this, then it takes me to the particular PDF file from where the data is extracted, and it also represents it or highlights it with some sort of a color. Over here in this case, it is blue. It can be green, yellow, anything. Okay. So it does this very easily. And for our data enthusiasts or the knowledge workers who want to work indefinitely within the informations or extract more data within, then you can open an advanced view and you can view it in different formats. For example, let's say if I want to view it in JSON file format, then I can do that very easily as well. And you can extract this informations for your later, let's say, investigations, or for your later information retrieval sort of a task, right? So it makes the job very easy. Ultimately, is what I'm trying to say. Moving on to the text analysis part, let me show you exactly how can we do that. So there is an option in teach domain concepts, okay, where basically you can extract the entities. At the same time, you can create text classifiers. Okay, once you click on a text classifier, it gives you an option to upload the sort of the data file, the CSV file, that it can be a training data set. You can do that very easily. Let's say I create agreement contract 1 1 2, and you can upload a file. Let's say I can go to documents, and then I have created a folder use cases, Watson discovery, click on NLC training. So basically what is happening over here is that I had defined before one thing, if you remember, that I wanted to classify the documents in two parts, that is service level agreements and manufacturer overview documents sort of a format. So two formats, again I'll repeat, or two different types of classifiers we'll define over here. That is your service level agreement, and second part is manufacturer overview document. So how we can do this? We can do this by first training the SDU or the basically the algorithm by giving them a training data set, and then looking at that training data set, it will learn, do a lot of self learning, and it will understand the trends very easily. So I'll upload it from here. I'll go back again to the use cases part, click on Watson Discovery, and then click on NLC training.csv. Okay. And then we can easily click on create. So basically, it's like an Excel file. I'll click on agreement contracts. Select the field, and over here, I'll take as text. I'll click on apply. Okay. Then we'll go back and you'll see a magic. Okay. Bank of America, for example, is what I'm trying to search. And you see that I have created a new facet as well. To create a new facet, you can click on facets. You can click, for example, I'd create a new facet type, that is agreement type. And here there are different options again. Out of this different options, let me try and show you what I mean by that. So let me remove this first. See, there are different options as you can see over here. Out of this multiple options, I have selected something. Okay, so now I have to see. So from this multiple options, it had selected something on its own. So I can cancel it. I can choose it again from the beginning. I have to see all and look at all these options. I'll not do that. I'll click on cancel because I'd already saved that thing before. So I had chosen the option where we were able to find out the class name and then click on single choice radio button to only so that we can there is an option just to select either one of the options and neither two, because in this case we don't want to view all the documents together. See over here, there's an option of available collection, agreement contracts, and then from there we can do agreement type as well very easily, service agreement and what sort I want, right? What all I want, I can do it very easily. Bank of America is what it shows. It defines it very easily, basically. And click on view passage in this document. It has classified it as service level document. So it does it very easily. So that's all from my side. I hope that it was informative, and basically the whole point of showing you this particular you know demonstration was just to show you exactly how easy it is to utilize couple of tools which is already there present in the market and do the task much easily, and you don't even need to have in-depth technical knowledge to utilize these tools. So that's all. So thank you guys, and that's it from my side.